What up, man? Welcome to the What up, man? Welcome to the dang on what was this? The Figuring Shit Out podcast episode. Got dang on 18.
Nah, it's 19.
19. My bad. I can't count. Y'all know what it is. Like,
Yeah.
it looked like a eight in the corner, bro.
I know it's the font. Like
It's
that
funny font.
font nines look like eights. I don't fucking get it, but it's 19.
Yeah, man. It's the boy King Godler, man. Y'all know what time it is. Check out the website at the bottom, man. Frank, what up? What up, you?
Not much, man. We here. We still doing it. 19 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? You know who I am. Lucid Perspective. Hit up Silver Syndicate.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about it in every episode, but you know what I'm saying? We want to focus on our guest today. So what's going on?
Yeah, we got my man Chris Harrison in the bit. What's going on, Brody?
Man, I'm well, man. Thank y'all for having me, man, on today, man. Appreciate it. Everything's good.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Goddamn go. Man, Chris got the Family Springs water company. Been slanging the water for about, what, 5 years now?
Slinging.
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. 5 years, August 25th.
Okay, so.
Oh, shit, like 6 days. six
the
days.
5th year anniversary coming up.
Yeah, man. That's what I said, man. It's funny, man. You know, we come back around on our anniversary. We doing a lot of new stuff. Trying to bring out there to the forefront.
Tell everybody about your what's your figuring shit out moment with the water, bro?
Okay. Yeah. So the question, right? So my internal moment was realizing that in our communities, lower economic areas, which I grew up in, and not only grew up in, even when I got into the military, living in, with a lower ranking salary, you still live in, the areas that you can afford.
Mm-hmm.
And looking in the stores, man, realizing that not all water's created equal, man. And just understanding the opportunity, started seeing that, Fiji and, Evian and stuff, that there wasn't even an option for those in our community. And that told me, to myself, man, was like, this is different, man. How powerful water is, man. I started, researching Dr. Emoto a little bit before that. I was talking about, flat freezing water, man, and how it has an effect on the body. Be thinking about Ghostbusters, man, and, how the slime and Ghostbusters was up there, causing people to freak the door, man.
Yeah, I mean, interrupt. I think the phone's breaking up a little bit. The sound's choppy. But did you mentioned Dr. Emoto?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who is that? The I might be mixing them up here.
I just googled it. I think it's the dude who did Speaking Into the Water.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yes, he did the one where you put words on the bottle like happiness or love and then hate, and then it'll change the molecules.
I don't think you guys froze up now.
Yeah, it's a bad connection. I mean, we can hear each other though.
Yeah, we can
it's
hear
just
you.
Real choppy. There you
okay,
are.
hold on.
Video. There it is.
There you go.
Get
Okay,
your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, back up now. Okay.
All right. So yeah, no, you said Moto, right? He was the one who did the experiment, putting the words on the bottle.
Absolutely, yep. So I understand a lot where Family Springs comes from, and what we stand for, what we represent. There's a lot more in the name. We get lost in language translation. It's a lot that that we stand for. Especially when you start to break down the word family and how it means servant. So who we serving? For
real, I didn't know that. I feel like I'm about to learn so fucking much right now in this hour, bro. My head's gonna explode. Let's go.
So what's all right? So you said you was learning about the water before.
Yeah.
So what's the most important thing that you learned about water that you was just like, man, I got to share this with everybody?
Well, that was the right there where you can speak into the water, labels on the water, and it would literally change the, the structure of water is, right? So then as I started, going deeper down, say the rabbit hole per se, because prior to this, I was all into, controversy and all that different propaganda and things like that of that nature, music.
Right.
And once you start talking about music, and then everything just started connecting. And I think a lot of it has to do with me. We can go into astrology and me being a water sign and it being a
Ooh.
water bearer. Yeah, things that start to make sense to you. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you have a drawn natural connection, man. Everything is connected, and it's literally connected to water. I mean, that's the first line of communication. When we start to talk about how we connect to one another and how the Lord wants to spread the word information. So, you know, these things matter a lot. So when I started really getting into it, it just happened to flow. The science, the information, it retained, to me, like
That's what's
retaining
up.
water.
That's
You
the
talk about pregnancy and how you speak to the baby, how baby understands, his father voice and his mother voice and the tunes and how, just from the vibrations, water, vibrations move faster in water than air.
word.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this. Let me start here. Let's try to like build up a timeline. Well, not a timeline, but like a structure. Like, what is wrong with the major water brands that they sell in the supermarkets today?
What's wrong with them?
Yeah,
For
like
one,
Dasani, Aquafina, who else? Deer Park, all those bitches.
right. So, the main
Let me
part.
see your toes, bro.
Oh,
Let me
yeah,
see
to
your
flip the
toes, bro.
camera.
Oh, I did. Okay,
That's
I don't
funny.
even know how I did that. Okay, there you go.
Word.
Yeah.
Why is Dasani so nasty? Let's start there.
Well, it's how they make it, right?
Okay.
So, ain't like you're talking about purified water, and now you're starting to add things into the purified water, right? So now, you start messing with minerals. Minerals is what changes the flavor and the taste of water. So not all water is created equal,
Mm-hmm.
depending on the source of what the water is, or the chemistry of the water. You're going to get a different taste. So that's why they say added electrolytes for taste and so forth like that.
Right.
So they're playing around with when they play around with your chemistry is bioengineering because they're literally
Ooh.
around with
Yeah.
yours, right? So
Right.
water fuses our DNA together. It's sticky. When you put water in a glass, you'll see, or a bottle, you'll see the water stick to the sides,
Right.
right? Right as it
Mm.
drops
Never
down.
thought
So
about water's being sticky.
yeah,
Yeah.
it holds things together. Water has a lot of, it's like plasma in a sense. It's the fourth phase of water.
And
Mm.
So
it's crazy because like we need, obviously we all know this, we need water to survive, right? It's like it's
right.
what makes life possible on Earth, and it's like we know. So here's some facts, right? We know there's fluoride in the tap, right?
Hmm.
They've been doing that shit for decades. We know they sell filters and things like that, but none of those. I mean, maybe you can school us. They don't really. What do they filter? Do they filter fluoride? Do they? I know they say they filter impurities and shit like that, but we don't really know. I never really trusted those. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, how do you know what's the proper like? How where can we get water that's actually that's good for us and can sustain us? Like, what do we need to know what to drink?
Well, for one, spring water, and fluoride is it's basically an element that's part of the earth. So a lot of people's like, yo, I don't want fluoride, but see, when you start putting chemistry
Uh huh.
together, certain things make sense, and so certain things bond, and how they bond determines the nature of the relationship, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
just like people and so forth like that, right? That's why I did a whole blog on relationships and bonds, right? And bonding relationship is literally the same thing as chemistry. So sodium can kill you by itself, and chlorine, like those two. But when you put them together, you get salt. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like based on the chemical structure you're talking about with fluoride when you add it with what is it, I forgot exactly what it is, but it can make it deadly, and it's how the electrons is actually lined up. Basically it makes it steals electrons and it has a strong affinity, and you need electrons to basically energize yourself in power.
Mm.
you know that's what makes fluoride so deadly. It's just a combination of how it's put, when it's together. but it's literally a natural that's a part of the body. We get wrong information or half of the information, don't know all of it, and then it ends up uh, they end up selling us on some things that are half truths. You
Right.
know, right?
Always.
Right. So I don't get into it because, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chemist. You know what I mean? And a lot of these things, you really have to have an understanding. A lot of times, we share information, and we only have a lot of it, man. And most of the time, you know, if somebody writes a book, doesn't necessarily make it fact. It just makes
Mm.
it there that they put in the book. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
we'll hold it as truth. We put it online. Like anybody can put. I got information online. You know what I mean? So you literally got to do their own research, man, and live it, man. It's all about experience, man. At the end of the day.
So is that kind of like what is it? Those what is those pH waters, right? With
Mm-hmm.
the high pH balances and added electrolytes
Alkaline.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So are they really, or are they just playing on the buzzwords, right? Are they playing on the time of the hype?
Right. So that's exactly what they're doing. It became hot. You know what I mean? It's just like supersizing. McDonald's drink
Mm-hmm.
with right. So now everybody thinks the higher the pH, the more it's gonna help you out. And that's not necessarily the truth. That's not necessarily the case. The highest pH organ that you have in your body is your pancreas, and that's at an 8.5 at most, right? And that's to neutralize the stomach acid before, so it doesn't eat a
Right.
whole intestines, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you need a 9.5? Most people I know that drink 9.5 machine type water, they have different types of problems and issues that starts to affect them. They don't like the
Damn.
taste or lots of different things because your body's not meant to handle. pH is largely regulated through your kidneys and through your lungs,
Mm.
right? And that manages the pH of the blood,
Right.
right? So, you start messing around with the pH. That's literally the chemistry of the water. So, what you have is pH. Our water is at 7.8 to 8. It's just natural. That's good. That's where you about where you want it at. Now, you can have higher pHs depending on the mineral content from where you're at. But what I'm saying with that is that pH, that is you need alkalinity. Alkalinity is the ability to buffer the minerals. So like just like pool water, you need a balance of those two. But people
Right.
don't thinking pH, and pH has a number to it.
Mm-hmm.
So all they do is buff it, pump up the pH, pump up the pH. But the pH is nothing without the alkalinity, because the alkalinity is the ability to buffer an acidic
So
solution.
so that was gonna be my next question. So like, because there's this thing with alkaline water now, right? That I don't, like he said. Is that a buzzword? Is that a marketing thing, or is that real? Like, is it healthy?
Is it alkalinizing the body?
Right.
So the purpose of alkaline water is so that water has to have something in it, right? So if water is basically purified water or distilled water with no minerals,
That's
it's
dead
going to
water.
grab hold of things. It's going to be acidic, and what
Mm-hmm.
acid does, it breaks apart rock and it breaks. So that's
Shit.
why it grabs hold of minerals, and it makes it the water. It neutralizes it, right? It brings the water to a neutral standpoint, or if it grabs more, it's going to make it more alkaline. So now, when water has the alkaline ability and you drink and consume it, when it goes through your body, it's not going to be looking to pull other minerals and so forth out of the body that you need.
Mm.
This is the concept of understanding what alkaline water is actually doing, and why it's free water that's running through the body. You need minerals for your body, and if you're drinking acidic water, or distilled water, basically in those sense, and the purified water, it's looking to pull minerals, and it's going to
Mm.
from organs. It's going to pull them from your bone, because your bone has the mineral deposits, the calcium in there.
Right.
So now your body is looking, because the body's always geared towards balance. So it's going to look to find out, how can I balance what you just consumed and consumed. And then when you start to talk about on the monitor, if we're not hydrating, if we're not exercising and breathing enough oxygen in properly, because we're filling it all the way on the mitochondrial level. And on that mitochondrial level, it makes water, right? And then it breaks down food. Your food and all that is digested on that level, and it leaves an ash. And so now you're talking about the buildup of hydrogen ions that's building up in your body and in your blood. Those things start to affect your body, slows it down.
That's
So,
crazy.
you know, like everything is connected in that sense. So like there, when you
I
start,
know it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, alkaline helps. Natural spring water helps the body basically, you know, from still robbing from other organisms or organs, I say.
Are you looking for a media agency that covers all the creative tasks that make a business successful? Lucid Perspective produces elegant, high resolution graphics and logos, high definition and 4K video, complete with treatment concepts and innovative editing. Lucid Perspective provides photography services such as fashion, advertisements, product or service, and aerial photography. We also help businesses build their brands from the ground up with complete campaigns that will make your business attractive to your target audience. We can bring your brand to the masses with our effective and strategic marketing campaigns to include sales funnels, eye-catching advertisements, breakthrough digital marketing through social media, and other digital avenues. Visit lucidperspective.com today.
So is all spring waters created equal? Right? Because I'm drinking spring water now. I'm a spring water drinker, right? And it say, protected springs in Spring Grove, VA. You know what I mean? So am I just drinking tap water?
So now it's funny, man, because you know a lot of companies names can say call their water spring water and not necessarily be spring water,
Facts.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one aspect of it, and you know just based on the regulations of how they word, you know, it's just about wording, you know, at the same just like organic and you know all these different types of ways how they use words.
I know it's important, like what you eat too, like because we could either our foods we can choose between acidic or alkaline foods. And like most people, I mean, if you eating trash and junk food and hamburgers, French fries, grease, and all that, correct me if I'm wrong. A lot of that is acidic in nature, right? So you're bringing the
Right.
body to a high acidic state, and then most people like they'll swallow down Diet Pepsi or Coke or Sprite or whatever, which is even more acidic, right? And so it's my understanding that a lot of the diseases and sicknesses that people actually suffer from is from having a high acidic state more times than they're supposed to, or like throughout their adult life, even from children to so on and so forth. So it's like is so are you saying is if most people understand these chemical reactions and understand to consume more alkaline based foods and water, we could bring the acid down and be healthier? Does that make sense, or
Yeah,
I'm in
no,
the ballpark?
no, I got you. Yeah, so you're right. Our body's geared to balance, and our job is to help the balance, right? So everything has it formulates from dehydration, and that's where we battle at. It's a constant, you know, we're
Mm.
traveling time and space, right? So like we're star creatures, right? We're travelers. You know what I mean? If you want to get on that type of level.
Let's
So
go. Let's
anytime
go.
if you're flying in a plane and you land, you're dehydrated, right? So you need to hydrate. So
Mm-hmm.
anytime we're space and time traveling, you're going through a dehydration patches, and our body is looking to hydrate itself. So now when we're fighting against what's called oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is the worldly environment that we're going through,
Mm.
whether the air that we breathe, the exercise we get, the food that we eat, the smoking, you know, the showers that we're taking, the soap.
Chemtrails.
Yeah, right. Everything is geared around dehydrating the body,
Mm. Mm.
and that's where the root cause of disease is at because hydration is in the cell. All we're doing is quenching our thirst by drinking water that's not getting inside the cell. It's two types of water. You got fresh water and salt water. Those same waters exist within the body. You have water inside the cell and water outside the cell. So
Mm-hmm.
outside the cell water is basically fresh water, just like the earth. All the fresh water is locked up within the earth. You
Let's
know,
go.
all those fresh water, and when you start talking about fruits and vegetables, it's stored within the fruit. All that's minerals. The minerals travel from the earth, and then it goes and it becomes stored within the fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is locked up within a confined space. When we start talking about fresh water, where you got to start tapping into, you know, and that's everything has its part when we start talking about water. So what I'm saying is everything has its place in the human body. Everything has a need. You can drink, you know, um, distilled water if you're looking to pull minerals and detox, for a period of time, right? Pull
Mm-hmm.
heavy stuff like that out your body, right? So then that's good for a period of time and cleansing. But then you switch back over to your spring. You know what I mean? So the body, we the problem with us is that we overconsume, even
Right.
whether it's processed food.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if you want to take scriptures in the Bible and you want to go in and break that down, so then I go into that right, where you understand that, okay, um, there's going to be a plague and it's going to be famine on the land, and you want to start getting into that, then you start understanding, okay, well, that's why they're making GMO, genetically modified food, right? If you believe in certain types of aspects of what's coming, what's the job is to prepare for it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Things that Dr. Sebi died from it, and he said that he died when he was in jail because
Right.
his body was alkalinized.
Right.
So
Right.
he had balance. So when anytime you get pulled outside your environment, you're instantly caused the same thing with vegan and vegan. And as soon as they eat some meat, they're gonna instantly get
Stress.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So why not have a proper balance between the things? Because that's what you're supposed to be practicing. It's a balance. We can go on too much one way and too much the other way, and
That's
then our
facts.
body know how to shift in it. We have climate changes that we have to go, and we should be eating according to the climate, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
And
it's
where you
crazy. People don't know. Like, I mean, I'm gonna have to get with you. We gotta like, what, like maybe you got resources or whatever. Like, cause like I feel like I'm into this shit, right? You know what I'm saying? And I'll dabble every now and then, watch some videos, maybe get a book or two. But it's like it's not in my face all the time. And obviously, it's not stuff that we're educated on. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? We don't learn this shit in school. We
Right.
the college system, you know, they don't teach this. They teach the chemical, you know, they teach what they want you to know, but it's not necessarily good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like the level that you taking us now with how you describing everything, it's
Mhm.
like we don't get taught in these ways. You know what I'm saying? So where can we go to learn this shit? Like what are the resources where we could just dive
So
in? You know what I'm saying?
I'm honestly, I mean, there's a lot of information that's going out right now. I'm literally doing waternomics, and this
Mm-hmm.
is because there is nothing out there that I've seen that puts this together. And
Right.
I was a DC student coming up, so like you're right, it didn't make sense. I didn't understand it. I didn't understand money, in a sense. I knew how to get it, but I ain't, the body, all this stuff is connected and it's tied together through water. So this is why I understand it. This is when I draw pictures. This is what I run my business as,
Mm-hmm.
and so that it makes sense to other people when we start talking about currency and how it flows and how it
Mm-hmm.
connects all things. This is how we should be living our life, because water literally does all the things that we need. It balances, it neutralizes, it heals, it hydrates.
Yeah.
So you're right. The information is scattered all over the earth.
Mm-hmm.
So in order to get, what I mean, like it's scattered in different books. You study religion, they tell you not to look at astrology. It's
Right.
connected.
Right.
Astrology, you got to study soil, farming. You see what I'm saying? Like you study, like then they say not be a part of this world, but then there's lots of different things that the information is buried in different religions and different agriculture,
Mm-hmm.
countries,
Cultures. Yeah.
the soil. Yeah, you can't,
You
you
know
can't
that
cultivate
remind
culture.
me of? It sound like when they do the movies, right? When they get the bad guy and they break him up and they scatter his shits around the world, goddamn. Or the Dragon Balls, right? And just go scatter around the
Right,
what once you get
right,
them, once you uncover them all, goddamn, you the shit.
right. Absolutely. And and they play with that. They know that. They know
Mm-hmm.
that's what I mean. But that's why you're supposed to be a world traveler in order to get information, because then you consume different types of food.
Goddamn
And
right.
what I mean? So like now you widen your horizon, you widen your experience. What I mean? You have full color spectrum of light, what I mean? Because you're eating, and expanding your culture, you're cultivating your soil, your
Wow.
soul.
That's a
Yeah,
different way of looking at it.
yeah. It's,
That
it's just
is.
it's forms of light, man. I get it depends on how deep you want to get, brother, because it's water, man. So like it literally can go to prisms of light and rainbow and understand the economics
Bro, I'm with
and
it.
why.
I'm with it. We figuring shit out.
Yeah, I'm still stuck on the part you saying the water is sticky. Like I can't get out of that because it is. The shit
Yeah,
bonds everything. It'll break down anything. Like it'll fit in anything. It'll cover everything. right?
Right.
Like, nah, that's crazy. Um, so let's talk about your water, Family Springs water, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
Okay.
how'd you start selling your own water, right? How'd you get a plug to the goddamn water? Like, cause I don't anybody can go on the tap, sell tap water, right? That's ridiculous, but they do it. You know what I mean?
hmm
And a billion dollar business doing it. So Disney.
hmm
Was it
Um,
Nestle?
no,
Nestle?
yeah, Nestle. My bad. That is
Yeah.
Nestle.
Nestle, yeah.
But
Yeah.
so how'd you get to connect to a goddamn official spring and decide I'm gonna start bottling my own water?
Yeah, I just looked at the bottle, man. I was getting it from a guy in DC, man, had his own company, man, and I really wanted to partner up with him. To be honest, I was literally driving all the way up to Maryland. Once I found out my cousin put me on to
Mm-hmm.
him, I wasn't making anything. I mean, like, shoot, I was buying it per case off of him for $15, and then I'm driving 3 hours back to Virginia, man, to sell it for 20.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
Mm-hmm.
I literally wasn't making the gas was eating that, and I had an SUV.
Right, yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
but I tasted it. It was nothing like I never knew anything else like that tasted. So I was like, oh man, So, long story short, what I mean, I was looking at trying to work with him and create that different type of opportunity and say, look, man, we don't have to sell water just the way that we're trained to basically sell water, going to different places and like, hey, look, buy this, buy this. There's
Mm-hmm.
other ways that you can sell water. You know, it's his business. He wasn't, where he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it. And I have my own distribution, so I was doing things my way down here anyway. But because it was his company, I was like, well, look, man, I didn't literally want to go through the process of branding it and getting labels and doing all that. He already had that going.
Mm-hmm.
So, but because he wanted to do things this way, it just had to go its own way. So I just called the company. I mean, it's on the bottle, So I just was like, all right, I called up there, talked to them, found out what their pricing was, their price breakdown. Everybody has a price breakdown, basically. When you buy in bulk, how many you need to buy, all that
Right.
type of stuff, right? So, once I found that out, man, then I just started going straight directly to the source, man. And and then that's where I started really learning the economics thing and how things play. Because, you know, if I go up there and I order a set amount, I get this type of deal. And if I get the labels from the same people that they get the labels from, then I get a better deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I get the boxes or something, so they literally plug you into their system and give you better deal on based on what you purchase, just for you circulating your within their community, basically.
Right, right.
You know, so
That's
it,
that's different.
yeah, but
Well, it shouldn't be, but it's
oh,
foreign to us.
huh?
I said it shouldn't be, but it's foreign to us.
Right. And the only reason why it's foreign to us because everybody has to have their name on it or have to feed their own ego, in a
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
sense. And that's the problem. And that's why I'm like, yo, we're family. And you look at our mission statement, it's a collection of businesses that come together like family. We you can come out the same womb, man, and not have the same blood. So, like, does
Facts.
that really mean family, man? Like, we have to understand what family is on a taxonomic categories, you know, and it's
Say
based
say
on
that again. You got to say it again. You got to say it again for him.
what family based on taxonomic categories.
Yes.
Yeah, it's breaking down of organisms. It's the naming the organisms, man, and their relationship to one another. And that's how you bond. That's how you relate, man. That's how you create magnetism. All these different things that we talk about, man. Like, that's how you create more of like-minded people and individuals that you gravitate to, man. Like, the world wants to see you win. You know what I mean? At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
Mm.
you know what I mean? So it's going to give you the resources and people that you need to make sure, what I mean, that you do your job. Every generation has a job to do,
Mm.
you know?
Say it
So
again. That's what's
that's
up.
that's
So you get your sources of spring water, and what is it? That's the one is that high alkaline, the fresh water.
yeah, so it's natural spring water. This Berkeley Springs. So that was one of the other things that changed me because I don't think nobody seen the inside of a distribution center, a
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
bottling. I was doing water Actually, now they got tapes up on the door saying no surveillance, no video cameras.
Ah.
You know, but when I first started doing that, like I was showing you, like you should know where your water is coming from. Everybody's like,
Facts.
yo, I can't believe you showing people your plug. I'm like, I don't want
That
Diego to kill me.
that
Like,
transparency, yeah, no, that transparency is important because a lot of companies don't do that.
right, so you're supposed to know. So yeah, I did that part, man, and we get water from North Carolina as well, man. So I'm like, yo, you should be plugged and tapped into your source, you know, at the end of the day.
So are these waters running out? Like, because I've been hearing a lot about water shortages and shit. So like, are
Famous.
these family springs running out, or what's up with
Well,
that?
Is that
so yeah, I mean, if you overly consume, in which that's one of the
What we
things that
do?
these aquifers have built up over centuries and
Right.
times 10. You know what I mean? So we're once again we're pumping them dry because now see you have to think of how water and plastic and all these things they're affecting us is because they're they're overly pumping them, and then they're storing them in other containers, and they're displacing the water. So if I keep
right?
pumping this thing out, man, and now it's on the truck, and then it moves into a warehouse, and it sits in the warehouse for years, so it can go to
Wow. Yeah.
a grocery store and sit in the back stock room for a minute, then it hits the shelf, and then it's on the shelf with all these other different companies on there. So like, and then just
Hold on
constantly,
that memory.
yeah, like yo, what I mean, you're crushing it. Yeah, I mean, like that's why I say when we keep talking about scaling and making all this money and pushing, it's literally we're draining the resources based on the ability for us to scale and buy
To
and
make
sell
profit, right? Yeah.
to make profit, man. And it's not right. That's why we do things a lot differently, than any and everybody else. We take what we need, man. I mean, there's plenty. There's
That's
plenty on
facts.
this
That's
for
facts. Because
everybody.
we've been doing that to the earth, in so many ways. It's like we'll value profit over balance. And like you just described, they taking the water out of the flow, right? Out of the
Yep.
river streams, the natural flow of the water on the earth, taking it, storing it somewhere, and so you're taking it out of that circulation, and so that's what you're saying. It's lessening the supply that's in the natural source, the resource. So what is the I guess what is the solution to that? Not to over pump or can we put it
Yeah.
back, or we drink it, we piss in a toilet, what
Put
I'm
it
saying, we flush, what I'm saying, we take showers. Does that get rolled back in, or where does that shit go? You know what I mean? Like, what's the whole picture?
That's how you literally ciphering out of the system, man. Because you got to think about it. If you're drinking natural spring water, then you piss it into a toilet, then it goes down, through the piping in the wastewater treatment facility, to be pumped back in
Mm.
to the bottles that's Aquafina and so forth that you drink.
Dasani. I swear
Right.
Dasani's pissed, man. I don't care what nobody say.
I mean, bro, but
I
I
hate
mean that's
Dasani.
what it is. Sometimes the effluent gets pumped back into the water, but it's only to be pumped back into
wow.
sucked back up again, man. So that's literally a part of their cycle, and the water has no energy at that point because they literally test the water to understand the what the community and type of drugs and stuff that the people are consuming, and
Mm.
they do that everywhere, so they can tell COVID and all this different type of stuff because the chemicals is in the water. Once you pee it out, you can't really filter that stuff out. So they can literally tell who's doing party drugs, what kind of drugs is going, when they're higher, when they're lower,
Damn.
based on water samples.
And that's the information. It holds information.
Holds information. There you go. So why not get my information from my ancestor, from the source,
Mm.
versus contaminated information. You know, like it has a lot to do with energy and how energy is stored within water molecules.
Right.
And how water goes against its natural flow and it's pumped like that. You lose energy and going through rectangles and square right angles and all these different
Let's
types
go.
of things before it comes out your faucet, right? So because
Right.
it gains energy when it goes with the flow, rushing waves, tides, all these different things gains more energy, right? And then when you
Right.
consume,
Mm.
guess who gets that energy? guess who gets that power? Power to the people.
When you need a quick cut, yet you're tired of waiting in crowded barbershops or beauty salons, then download the Cuddy app for the fastest and most convenient way to connect with a professional hair care provider. We offer an on-demand service of mobile professionals ready to provide you with a fresh cut or new hairdo. Why is Cuddy app so great? It saves you tons of time, and it also helps many hair care professionals still experiencing a loss of income from COVID. This app is the best option for whether you're new to the area, if you're unable to travel, running late for appointments, etc. Whatever the reason may be, you can count on Cuddy app to provide you with the convenience you need from a long list of professionals. Download the Cuddy app today.
That's deep, man. Y'all love shit like this, bro. We could talk about shit like this for hours, bro.
No, I'm definitely with it. I'm like now, so like, do you test the water at home? It's like, do you test the water at home? Do you test the water that you drink on the regular, right? Just to switch it up. But also, can you put that energy back, right? So, infusing the water with the lemons and the cucumbers and the mints and the, what I mean, the raspberries and shit. Does that work, or is we just got here putting fruit in the goddamn water? Right? Like,
that's a good question.
You know what I mean?
They be saying you do the lemons, it alkalines it.
Because my thing is, I see if you will put a lemon in the spring water, this is my thing, right? It'll help, right? Because it's already got the minerals in the spring water. But if you're putting the lemon in the tap water, you ain't doing nothing, right? Because it's taking the minerals from the lemon, and is it putting it in the water? I don't know.
Questions.
You're right. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you this much, man. Honestly, I don't know neither. I don't really much into that as well, man, because it just. I did a panel one time with a doctor up there, and she had, they had said that, and I was like, why go through all that when a lemon is already alkaline, based on how it's broken down within the body, it leaves an alkaline ash. Why put in your water? Why not just consume the lemon straight up?
Oh, dang, you hit them with that. What they say? They got mad at you?
Yeah, I mean, everybody understood that right away, because she was like, well, don't we just put the lemon in the water? I was like, well, why change the structure of the water when it's already alkaline and it's made to be that? You're literally changing, you're watering down, the effects of what it's supposed to actually do.
So is that the saying, eat your water?
Yeah, now that's my belief. Now, am I right? Am I wrong? But that's how I stand. You got, when your sense got that much in common, I just goes with what makes sense, basically, right? Jay-Z line.
Yeah,
facts.
That's what makes sense to me. And through what I study and what I read, the information that retains. You throw a bunch of stuff on the wall which sticks to you.
I'm gonna need some resource, bro. I'm gonna need the title of the books you talking about, videos. There's this dude on Instagram, Yaki Awaken, but I think he's like a herbalist. He don't really talk about water, but he talks about natural fruits. Yeah, raw vegan. Well, I think so. Raw vegan. He's off the chain. Like, I'm on his page all the time, and he's talking curing shit, curing diseases just from what you put in your body, right? And I love that type of shit. And I wish I was more disciplined. Like, it's like I know better, and I try to do better, but most of the time I'm eating pizza and bullshit. But it's I had pizza today, but it's like it's a discipline, right? You have to, if you know better, do better for yourself.
Yeah, I don't judge on any of that, bro.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger, man. I like cheeseburgers, bro. I always say I'm not going away from that. I don't care what they talking about.
It's a balance, though, right?
Like I said, it's a balance, man. I don't know my body. When I start to get too much or get one way, I'm like, I'm having me some salad. I'm gonna eat me a whole watermelon.
Right.
Like, I know.
Okay.
Like, I'm not. I know what I can go through, what I can do, what I do, how I feel. You know what I mean? But it's my own experience. I'm not gonna let you alter my experience based on your information and how you respond.
Right.
What you want to be on. Now, I do believe being higher and being more conscious, and yes, they're right on those levels, right? But everybody has a place, man. Like what my kidney absorbs in the cells in that, same thing my liver absorbs. like everybody has to absorb their own. We're all different organs that representing parts of cells within our body
Mm-hmm.
on a microcosm. You know what I mean? So like that's just me understanding life, man. You know,
No, that's real. I love that perspective.
quantum, yeah, it's quantum. You know, quantum physics, quantum world. Like
There
everybody,
we
like
go.
we're part of this earthly body, and every continent is an organ. Every city, a state, a country can be represented as an organ or a part of an organ, man. And we are little cells operating within that environment.
Facts. And we have cells in us, trillions of cells in us, little
That,
cities, countries. Yeah, the same shit. Yeah.
yeah, we're God. You know what I mean? Like when
Mm-hmm.
people go, I want to make it rain. I'm gonna drink me a bottle of water and I'm gonna make it rain.
That's it. That's it, bro. It's that simple.
Yeah,
It's not complicated, but like that's crazy. I love that. I love how you put it that way. That's dope. That's dope. So, if somebody wants to, can they order from you have? I know you have a website. They just go to the website, order the bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you have like different packages or different? I don't want to say flavors, but like different products, or is it all just one type of water?
right. Yeah, we only do spring water. I do have affiliate products, but I just posted actually today, and we're literally closing down the free water aspect. So, and what I mean by that is that you have to have a member or go
Mm-hmm.
through on our fundraisers in order to access it. I discount access any of our water. All our memberships raisers can come with a 5 gallon or a case included with it.
Mm-hmm.
But our memberships we automatically donate to our community, right? So most times when you go to somewhere, they ask you at the end of your purchase, do you want to donate to a charity? Now, if you want to come into our world, like I drive, and my cousin he drives up, and we go pick this water up fresh, and we take what we need for our village, man. So
Dope.
what I mean, if you want to be a part of that, man, then you got to put in. You know what I mean? That's the problem with our community. We let
That's
outside
right.
people come in and they take our basketball talented kids and our gifted rappers and so forth, and then then
Scientists.
yeah, science,
Right.
like they live reverse engineer the whole system, man. So this is my part in my fight in the balance for the revolution of the republic, right? So this
Let's
is
go.
You remind me EY episode listened to a lady named Paula McCarthy. Did you see that one? Earn Your Leisure.
uh, yeah, my people's had tapped me into I,
Uh,
I, yeah, I kind of reverse because my man was, he's funny because I think she said some stuff that I usually say or whatever, man. And,
mm,
but it's the water, and it's just a lot of people that's popping up that I don't know whether they're in it for the money or
mm,
the love, and sometimes people's story and their narratives change. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? I believe, in the next war is going to be on water. There's been wars on
Mm.
water before. We just got to make sure that they don't separate us, man. Um,
mm.
in
Unify
regard,
and thrive.
right? So
Facts.
yeah, I've had a lot of people pick my brain on water, and all over the country.
Are they making it harder? Are they? Is there any obstacles in your way? Like, cause most industries be having issues with transportation or getting products, or you it's just water, right? Water in a bottle, in different bottles, right? And get it to people. So, like,
hmm
do you see any issues coming up?
Yeah, man. I've always ran into the issues first. I'll say, I mean, even with Amazon when they started revving up, getting the box trucks and stuff,
Mm.
Mm,
that actually affected me immediately because I was getting Penske trucks. All of a sudden, I couldn't get Penske trucks anymore because Amazon had them all.
Mm.
And then what they did was, of course, they drove up the price
mm,
because you wasn't able to get them, and Amazon was bent right, delivery. So like usually water is always that thing that you find out how the economy is working because water is involved in every part of it. So you know you start talking about gas prices or
Crazy.
and yeah, everything in transportation, it's heavy water, shipping it on a plane, you know like you have to move it. That's why spring water literally only travels no further than basically a 300-mile radius from the spring that it's in, you know, and those distributors. So that's why you have water deserts and food deserts and different types of
Speaking
things.
of that, how long can water sit in a bottle? How long can spring water sit, right? Or how can you revitalize the water? Is that possible?
Yeah, so if it's spring water and it has minerals in it, the minerals are not going nowhere. Like
Right.
trap it, and that's when we confuse the information from the machine water that charges.
Cause that shit gets stale, right?
Right, because it's just like it's electricity. You just electrify the water, the rate pH. So guess what happens? Just like a battery or anything else is going to lose
Shit
its
get weak.
if
Mm.
you don't consume it. But you're talking about minerals that you just trap from the spring and put in a bottle. The only thing that happens with that's living water, the structured water. So if you leave it in the sunlight, guess what's going to happen to it? It's going to turn green. See what I'm saying? Because it's minerals in the same thing with geostones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Minerals turn things colors. That's why your fruit has different colors. It's the mineral, colors
Dang.
of the rain. So, you know, yes, the water is it's going to turn green. It's going to be algae.
I ain't never thought about that. I knew it was a reason why some water would turn stale, and then some other spring water just, you know, I it'd just be just fine,
When you
right?
think
Yeah.
about when you at the gas station and when you see the water at sitting where 7-Eleven, sitting where outside in the sun,
Yeah.
right? They don't put Fiji out there,
So
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So think of the water that they out there, purified water. That water ain't going nowhere. They can heat it up. They can do all that type of stuff to it.
and so does that water like take the plastic that is in too, or
Yeah, that's good. Like people, talking about plastic part in the water. You got to break down the information. Now, if my water's acidic, what does acid does?
take away?
Take away. So now you're breaking it down. Now, if it's in heat, and
Mm.
travel, this heat breaks down, and releases energy and all that type of stuff. So now you're breaking down your plastic.
Right. The bottle.
Yeah, you're breaking it down, and because it's acidic water that's in heat and the temperature changing and all these different variables. Now you're breaking down your plastic chemicals in your plastic. But see, we
And then you
put that
drink that shit.
for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like water down. We ain't gotta worry about that. For one, I go get it fresh, so it's not sitting for months and months on end. And
Mm-hmm.
worry about all the time. And then you have minerals in there. So
That's crazy.
Yeah,
But I
man.
did not know there was this much. I mean, my thing with water is like I know, going I drink from my fridge. It has a fucking filter in it. I don't know if it's doing anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't drink from the tap, obviously, but I shower in it, right? So
Right.
it's like it's almost like we are, we really don't have much of a choice in our water choices, right? Because we only could go and get what's available at the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? And we may not like. I know I hate Dasani. I hate Aquafina. I do like Essentia. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if that's necessarily good for me based on the information you just provided earlier, like with the pH numbers and all that. So it's like, what the fuck do you do? How do you make the right decision? I guess you say you got to understand what you're trying to do with your body and where you are in your stage, and then follow suit, right? So I just got to learn that shit. But I'm drinking this shit from my goddamn fridge. You know what I'm saying? And I change the filter every 6 months. I don't even know if that means anything. Does that mean anything? Like, or am I just spending $30 on a filter for the Samsung fridge because it's another product to
Because
sell?
Samsung says so.
Right. It's
Right.
just something else to sell. Squeeze money out of me, make me feel like I'm doing something. You know what I mean? I don't know. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, yeah, a lot of that is. I mean, that's why water has an expiration date. Or
Mm.
things like vinegar and stuff like that. That's in glass bottle. Like if it's a preservative, it shouldn't have an expiration date, but it's geared to make you spend, to throw it out, and to make you buy again. Like that's what keeps the system lit.
Consumption.
And my
Yeah,
water got a year on it.
yeah, huh?
My spring water got an expiration date on it. It's a year
Yeah,
though.
right. It's on gonna have to have an expiration date. I've literally already tested. I have water back from the very first time I started that I did a video live on IG and tested it so people can see. And it has my labels on it. Shows the date, the 17th. 2017. You know, and like I said, like it's mineral. So like anything I talk about is not nothing I haven't been through, experienced, or seen, witnessed firsthand. You know.
So how could
I'ma holler
somebody
at
at
you.
home test their spring water? Like if I want to test my spring water, I'm getting, or just come buy your water.
That's
Yeah,
all
if you
right.
want spring water, you get pH paper.
pH
That's
papers.
just the mineral. Yeah, the pH litmus test. You know, and you can test it that way. You know, but like I said, we're structured a lot differently because we're not powered by the money per se, right? We're literally creating a system and a banking structure, you know, in that regards, you know. So we're using water principle and understanding water knowledge and to build a system because all environments and economic systems are all built off of water.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
what's up, man. I'm
So
gonna come holler at you, bro. I'ma holler at you,
Yeah,
bro.
I'd been need to order some water, dog. So for sure.
yeah, even if so, man, you join the membership, man. Join us, man, and you know when you do come and pick it up, you in the area, or you know we come by your way, man. You know you can either pick it up or you just stack power water. At the end of the
Oh.
day, that's I mean.
So
You
where
know,
you
that's,
at? So where are you based out of, and how far is your reach? Like I know you're in Norfolk, Virginia Beach area, right?
yeah.
Okay, so so Hampton Roads for the most part.
Yeah, we cover all 757.
That's what's up.
I'm in between, bro. I need some water. I'm in Fredericksburg. But y'all got a capacity to go get the water, right?
You got where you at?
Fredericksburg.
Oh yeah. We come back that way, man. We actually had some water hubs in that area too, man. That we would drop off, man. To pick up. Yeah. Yeah. Now I actually pulled from North Carolina as well. So
You said that, yeah.
yeah. So I had my cousin up there. Thank God for him, man. To run up to Berkeley. So gotta have more than one source, right? So,
That's for sure.
Facts.
yeah.
So yeah, man. If y'all out there liking water, man, hit the boy up, man. You got no question for Frank?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
What's up?
real quick, from your experience or your studies, can you tell the people, is there any water that they should not be touching at all? Like I don't know if you want to name drop. I say Dasani, but that's because of the taste. Is there water that nobody should be touching? Like be real. Deer Park, who is it? Who's the worst out of all of them?
I'm gonna say this, man, because I don't want to water hate. Because this is one of the reasons why I literally got away from, you know, I feel like I didn't want to bash another company.
Right.
So I don't do the pH test like I did when I first got it, right? But I'll say this much, you know, during the pandemic, you know, when, you know, there was literally no waters in the stores,
Mm-hmm.
I whole entire pallet of Dasani water in there in the hood and food.
Yeah.
And I literally took a picture, so like you can literally check my timeline, Instagram.
Can't get away.
And I was thinking to myself, like, yo, I said water, man, because I'm like, yo, there's no water in the store. You gotta drink. I mean, like, at some point, you gotta, you know.
It was the last one, right? I remember that too. I think I seen that too.
Yeah, I mean, like they had a whole, not a single, I mean, a pallet full of water, and it wasn't no other water. So either it just got there, or people was like, "Yo, I'm not drinking that water."
They got to do better.
At the time, I was in DC and we seen the same shit. You know what I'm saying? All the toilet paper was gone, and then in the water section, it was fucking just Dasani, and that says something, bro.
Yeah, that says
a lot.
That's why when you said that, the people's talking for you. The people gonna say what they, you know, what it is.
Hey,
Okay.
that's crazy.
So that's the answer. It's Dasani. Dasani is the worst.
I'm thinking about the zombie apocalypse. Niggas is running out stealing shit from the store and they leaving your fucking water in the goddamn store. You need to be out of business right now.
But you know what though? It goes to saying the point, man, that Coca-Cola and Pepsi, man, and how they move their product, man, keeps them number one, man, because you know, when you go to a sporting event, you go to the movie theaters, man, guess who got exclusive rights? So guess what
Man,
you
shit water and terrible soda.
bro?
Yeah. Soda's the worst.
That's what I said, man. Exclusivity.
Damn.
But we get
Dehydrate the fuck out of it.
And you know what? Aquafina does that too. Like Aquafina, you drink Aquafina, and you still be thirsty after you drink that shit. Your mouth be dry.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that over time. I'm like, why the fuck do I want another bottle of this same fucking water? Not necessarily the water, but like I feel like nothing happened. I didn't do anything. But yeah, man, it's crazy out there, bro. They out there
Why would
fooling
you
everybody.
something to make you hydrate yourself and then you don't buy another bottle? I want you to keep up, right?
Nah, I'm gonna get with you for real. I'm gonna join. I'm gonna be a member because water's important, bro. It is. You know what I'm saying? And shit, we need to fucking live. And they poison. They doing all type of shit. We ain't gonna get into all that. We can talk about chemtrails, what they do to the food. We can talk about that shit for days.
Yeah, respect.
It's sad. But this is dope. This is a dope show, man. We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You drop mad gems. I'm gonna play this back.
What's the website? FamilySprings.com.
Yes, sir.
FamilySpringsWater.com. Yep, FamilySpringsWater.com. You can check us out. Social media, Family Springs.
Bro, stay dropping jewels up here, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I just followed you too, so I'm gonna be checking you out.
Appreciate
For real.
it, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, we start seeing what we about to do, man. We literally about to change the game.
I hope you coming out to that event next week, September. I told you, Caribbean Fest.
Yeah, I got to follow up on that, man. Man, but I appreciate you sharing. I definitely did want to check it out, man. See what's going on with that.
I'm gonna be out there, bro. Just don't miss it. I'm just trying to tell you.
Yeah.
All right, Brody.
All right, man. Have a good night. We'll holler at you.
Appreciate you.
Yo, this is Bunee Flacs, one half of the podcast Figuring Shit Out. I want to talk about the blueprint. It's the Build Business Credit in 90 Days by BizPro HQ. It's definitely a dope guide. We all know that business credit is very important when you're starting a business, or maybe you have an existing business and you're trying to get it off the ground. You may not have cash capital, but you need to get some type of working capital. This guide will help you build your business credit in just 90 days. I got it myself. I applied it to a couple of businesses that I have. To be honest, some of the things I was doing already, but then there was a whole other group of things that I had no clue about if it wasn't for this guide. It's got simple steps, very easy to understand, very easy to follow through. Breaks it down, tells you what to do, what not to do. It is definitely a dope asset to have. If you want this guide, go to www.bizprohq.com. It's right there on the homepage. Go ahead and get your copy. Also, on the Figuring Shit Out podcast, we have the CEO and owner of BizPro HQ, Larima Davis. She dropped mad gems about building business credit, starting your own business, and just talking about what her company can do for you. And then hit up the link, get your guide. Thank you guys for your time. Check that out.